Hi, welcome to Business Law Online. My name is Terry Brown and I'm your instructor for this semester's class. And I wanted just to give you a brief overview of the materials that we have online for you, the homework assignments, and really what's expected. So I just want to give you that high-level overview. The first thing to take a look at is in the syllabus tab. The syllabus tab has the syllabus for this class, all the information about the due dates and the points for the class. One thing to pay attention to is in our program we do not have a D grade. A D grade is not a passing grade by the school, and it's kind of silly to even give it out. Doesn't help with financial aid either. So we give A, B, C's, and then F's. I also don't want you trying to strive for a D, so let's strive for the A, and if we have to, we get a B. I don't want you shooting for that D. It doesn't help you. So once you go through the syllabus and review it, I want you to take a look at the syllabus quiz assignment. All you have to do is select syllabus quiz and submit your answers to it, and you'll have that done. Your assignment pass and your participation pass for this class allow you to submit either a discussion board or an assignment late if you need to, and you get 1 week to complete that. So it's not that you get to skip the assignment. That's not what it is. You still have to do it, but you get a little bit of extra time on it. If you do not use these passes, you get an extra 5 points for each of those at the end of the semester. That is your extra credit for the class. So I want you to be aware of that. So if you want to use any or might think you need some extra points, you can certainly use those extra points at the end of the semester. The next thing I want to point out is we have 7 learning plans for this class. We have 15 weeks, so clearly we will be covering some learning plans over a period of weeks. Learning plan 1, as an example, is over 2 weeks. Learning plan 2 is actually over 3 weeks, so pay attention to those due dates. Do not wait to the last minute. There's a lot of chapters there, so I'm giving you time to submit this work within that period of time. That self-management that you're going to have to pay attention to. So your first sections, chapters 1 through 6, I think. 6 are due February 9th. So within this learning plan, you will find that the self-checks and the content information are in folders. The self-checks are actually some case studies that are found at the end of the text, but I also have them out here so you don't have to look for them. But this will give you the objectives for those 3 chapters, the pages that you need to read, the PowerPoints for those sections, and then the self-check. To do the self-check, you would just go ahead and select the self-check. It gives you the instructions. You're only going to do this once. You can save it and come back to it. It's not timed. It's not really a test. It's just the easiest way for me to do this. So the first question, we'll just do this one together so I can show you how to do this. This one says that Muscarello, and just so you know, Muscarello or whatever, these are last names, not first names, so if they seem weird, it's just somebody's last name. This person illegally sold marijuana, which he transported in a small truck. Police discovered a handgun, the locked glove compartment of this truck. A provision in the firearms chapter of the federal law demands a 5-year prison term. Now, federal law is different than local ordinances. Federal law, generally, if you're convicted of it, that's the sentence that you get. There's not a lot of negotiating down that prison term sentence for federal offenses, so just so you're aware of that. Muscarello claimed that since the gun was in the locked glove compartment of the truck, it did not fall within the description of the word carry as used as the statute, and he was not subject to the required 5-year prison term. Did Muscarello violate the firearms chapter of the criminal code? So here, the principle of law, you would write is really the concept of carry, and it's federal. Your decision, so as a judge, what would you decide in this case? Carry, in my opinion, is within reach and accessible. Therefore, I would find that he indeed was carrying while in possession of drugs. Possession of drugs. So that's how I would respond to that. Okay, that's what I'm looking for those case studies. I want you to think through it. Your decision might be several sentences long depending on the example. This is just kind of brief for the purpose of this video. You can use the internet. Many of these are real examples of cases, so you may actually find the case information online. If you go through all of that trouble to look it up, that is perfectly acceptable to go into those details as well. But I do think that based on the material in the book, you will and can make some very good decisions based on the limited information that you're given. Now understand that you are given limited information. I still want you to make a decision, so I would prefer you not to say, well, it's considered carry in this situation but not considered carry in this situation. Well, given the situation at hand, what would you say? So you're actually being the judge in this case and finding that person. Once you're done and you want to save it, let's say you just wanted to do one because you read chapter 1, but you don't want to go on to the rest, then you would just save your answers, but you would not save and submit. Once you're all done, then you go ahead and save and submit. Okay? I don't think it'll let me because I don't have access. It says I'm not done with 2 and 3. It will give you a warning if you're not done. So that is the self-checks. If you go back to Learning Plan 1, you will find that for both sections that you have 3 questions to answer, one for each chapter generally, you'll find. And then there's a quiz from chapters 1 through 6. This quiz is really a multiple choice quiz. You can use your textbook for this. You can take this test more times than once, so it will take the highest grade. You can go back in and try it again and again. Definitely use your textbook if you need it. Know that the questions do not necessarily repeat and are certainly not in the same order. So you will have to, you may be looking up different answers as you go back and forth, but you are able to take this more than once. So if we would go into the quiz just to give you an idea of what it looks like, it tells you that it's allowed multiple attempts. It's also 25 questions long, and all of the questions are together. So if you need to, you can print them and then go through your book to find the answers, or you can go through them one at a time. It's completely up to you. These are totally random, so if you're sitting next to somebody, you're probably not going to have the same questions as they will randomly pop up. Okay, so those are due by 11:59 on Monday night, as well as the self-checks. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, and I will create another video for some of the extra things that we'll be doing in class.